Hey guys, it's Bridgette with San Diego Seed Company, and fall has come and now it's time to start thinking about your seed starting. I've been talking about seed starting for the last couple of weeks, trying to get you excited, and we get lots of questions from our customers. So one of the big questions we get is, when do you start thinning your starts? So we have this beautiful tray of lettuce here, and you can see we went a little crazy with the seeding. It's pretty thick. The point of thinning is to make sure that there's not so much competition for your little baby plants. The longer you wait to thin, the more competition each little individual plant has. And I know it's hard to thin because you're killing little baby sprouts, but in the end you'll be so much happier. This is lettuce, and one of the ways that I like to thin lettuce is actually to use these tiny little pairs of scissors. You can go in with your hands and you can simply pluck out the extra starts if you'd like. But by going in with scissors, it's really nice to just be able to snip all the extra sprouts rather. And you want to be able to snip them down to only a few per cell. You're going to be way happier in the end because you'll have big, strong heads of lettuce that you can transplant. If you don't have a little pair of scissors like this, you can go in with your hands and simply pull them out. The rule of thumb is you want to pull out the weaklings. So the ones that are bigger in the cell, that are more vigorous, leave those guys. The ones that have barely sprouted or are sprouting late, get rid of them. The other big question that I get so often is, when do you put your little babies in the ground? Well, it kind of depends on the plant and your environment. Obviously, these lettuce starts are still way too small. If I put these out into the garden, they're gonna get gobbled up by roly-polies like that. But it does depend on what plant you're planting out. I'm gonna let these get quite a bit taller. 2-3 inches maybe. As long as they're not root bound in the cells that you're growing them in, they can stay in there until they're big enough to safely go outside. Here's a good example. This is a broccoli, our purple sprouting broccoli that we transplanted. We started it in little cells like this, and then obviously these plants get really big. It will outgrow this 50 cell tray, so we transplant it into a little 4-inch, which gives it more soil. I don't have to water as often, and then when this gets big enough, which I'm probably gonna let it get about twice as big as this, I'll put it outside. So the key is that you don't let it get root bound. So this is a nice root development. If you're buying your starts from the store and you pull your starts out of the little 4-inch pots and they're covered in roots and the soil barely moves, chances are when you plant that in the ground, it's not gonna do a whole lot. So you wanna make sure that it's filled in with roots, but not so much that it's root bound. So if you guys have any questions about when to plant your baby starts outside, post your questions in the comment and I'm happy to help.